Border-Gavaskar, the real master, just like a wall. We couldn't out Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all.
Are we suffering yet?
I think we're not suffering so much after that, after the way that test ended.
Um,
But this 50-minute time limit that we put on ourselves, that kind of makes me suffer. I have to be quiet. That's hard.
Thank God. Anyway, on that very happy note, welcome to the No Balls Cricket Podcast. This is episode 54. Wait, did I do that right? There we go. Anyway.
Good job. SP can make fingers. Now we know.
Yeah. So, obviously, as you people know, I am Siddhant Pradhan. That is Aditya Devrat. And this is what it is. For lack of a better term. Anyway, on the show today, obviously, we're going to round up the third test between India and Australia, which ended in a draw. Plus Ravi Ashwin's retirement, plus pretty much everything else that went on. And with that in mind, this episode is sponsored by Red Bull.
Again?
Yeah, because I'm running out of things to drink in this house. And I left my gin at the other house. So now, yeah. Anywho, with that in mind, let's quickly swing into the roundup.
All right. There has been a decent amount of cricket going on since we last.
Shit. It's the middle of December. When else would there be cricket?
Yeah, this is true. This is very true. There's even been a Zimbabwe-Afghanistan series of all things.
What exactly happened?
Yeah. That's a very good question. I think Afghanistan won the first match. Won the T20 series and then won the first ODI. Zimbabwe
Only
actually
unsurprising.
Zimbabwe actually did win a match in the T20 series, but Afghanistan won that 2-1 and they're 1-0 up in the ODI. What else? I mean, the most fun thing that's happened, I guess, there's a toss-up here. Is it Pakistani, or is it England getting absolutely thrashed in New Zealand?
So England won the series, so them basically ballsing up at one test match is like, okay, fine, you win, and like it's okay.
Okay. Tim Southee retired on 98 test sixes, sadly.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
Yes. Level with Chris Gayle, but didn't bring up a century.
Also, bigger thing is he retired on 391 test wickets.
Nah, I think getting 100 sixes mattered more to him than 400 wickets.
Man, 400 wickets gets you into a fucking elite club, though.
Yeah, but 100 sixes as a not even an all-rounder, like literally just a somewhat capable batsman as a bowler. I think he would have preferred that.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, that would have given everybody more satisfaction, including all the memes.
Anyways, New Zealand won the test by 423 runs. Kane Williamson brought up another century. Joe Root did not bring up another century, which is always good news.
Protecting Sachin's legacy.
Seriously, protecting Sachin's legacy.
However, I think since we're on the context of Sachin, let me show you
praise his legacy.
Yeah, we have to praise his legacy, right? We have to show you the second greatest shot that he ever hit, other than that six over.
That's the second greatest.
Wait, okay, I don't know which one is. Y'all decide, but this is the second greatest shot he ever hit. Apparently, this is according to
someone has tweeted a photo of Sara Ali Khan.
Oh no, there's not Sara Ali Khan.
Sorry, not Sara.
Tendulkar.
Sorry, not Sara. Sara Tendulkar.
Wrong cricketer, bro.
Wrong
family.
Yeah, wrong child.
Wrong family.
Wrong family.
Wrong Sara.
Anyway, for those of you not watching on video, basically the tweet says that uppercut six will always be the second greatest shot of Sachin Tendulkar because of Sara.
Anyway, we will very quickly move on from all of this. Lest we get. Oh, by the way, just FYI, in case anyone has forgotten, we were supposed to make a kid-friendly episode. Clearly, that shit isn't happening.
That's not happening. Yeah. I don't know. 1 second. I don't even know why you think we were supposed to make a kid-friendly episode.
I mean, I was trying to do it as a laugh, but clearly you're not having any of it. So,
It's just never gonna work.
okay, fine. Moving on.
Moving on. South Africa. So Pakistan's tour of South Africa has begun. They lost the T20 series 2-0. Mohammad Rizwan. I don't want to get into this too much, but just suffice to say that Rizwan again. He was in one T20 striking at a rate of 120, and another one he was sub 100.
Anyway, the moment of the series actually has come from the first ODI where Saim Ayub has run out Kamran Ghulam in a scene that was straight out of Javed Miandad
90s.
and Inzamam
Yeah.
ul Haq 1990s. I mean,
Um,
he
yeah,
sold
it is
him
like the
just,
most classic Pakistan run out.
my God. Pakistan being Pakistan and Pakistan Pakistaning. Anyway.
Anyway, Pakistan did win the first ODI and they've set South Africa 332 in the second ODI.
Oh, is that
So
going on right now?
that's going on right now.
I had no
Yeah.
idea. Anyway, carrying on.
Does that did the West Indies Bangladesh thing happen while in the past week? Yeah. Yeah. Bangladesh somehow have beaten West Indies in T20 so far. They've won the first two games. I don't know how. West Indies won the ODI series 3-0. That's not surprising.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I guess, is that the roundup? I think that's the roundup.
No.
The
There is
other
one.
week,
There is one piece
the,
of big news. Big news.
it depends on
Shakib Al Hasan.
Oh, okay.
Shakib Al Hasan has been banned from bowling in county cricket because apparently the ECB thinks he has a suspect action. Now, I don't know whether he actually has a suspect action or that is racism against Bangladesh. But in my eyes, I vote
Or
suspect.
it's just because he's a suspect because he's been charged for murder and they've just decided to run with it.
Okay. I swear to God, on this show, we are meant to crack bad jokes. However,
Yeah.
that was so bad, it's left me speechless.
Yeah. Okay. We will move very swiftly on to that from that. I feel like what he's been playing for 10, 15 years. How seems pretty late to be reporting his bowling action. He's not even playing international cricket anymore.
No, that's because he can't play international cricket anymore. That's a separate story, which we covered in our previous episode. Please check that out.
Yes, that is okay. The last somewhat more serious update is that the India women's side are in the middle of a series with the West Indies and have been doing pretty well. In fact, they've just won their third T20. So they've won the series 2-1. But it's been a pretty fun series to watch and to follow. And I think the crowds for today was like upwards of 40,000 or something like that.
Yeah, DY Patil getting sold out is always a trip, bro. All the Navi Mumbai.
Yeah. And also, I'm impressed that India have been able to win this series. I would have backed West Indies to win.
Honestly, I'm not surprised at the games being sold out. It's Bombay, dude. Everybody wants to watch cricket at the end of the day.
No. That's fine. I'm saying I'm impressed with the actual on-field performance.
Oh, yeah. After getting slaughtered in Australia, yeah, this is a welcome relief.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty decent West Indies team. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, in other news, England absolutely destroyed South Africa in the women's test match that was going on.
Oh, yeah. Oof.
Yeah, that was brutal. Absolutely brutal. But yeah, South Africa had, I mean, to be fair, South Africa hadn't played test cricket outside of the one game in India last year for maybe 7 or 8 years, something like that. So, go figure.
There was a minor controversy there over the lack of DRS. Basically went against South Africa a couple of times. England were unhappy that basically the whole thing is obviously the board can just fork up the money to pay for DRS, and they didn't. And therefore, yeah, we had some old school umpiring.
I mean, it goes to show that, and again, this is again another conversation for another time. But I think it needs to be controlled by the ICC.
It's also by this point it should be standardized. Like I think there's no excuse, honestly.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it should be standardized. I think that's it. Have we actually got anything more on the roundup?
Yeah, I mean we'll have a mini section on Pakistan, but I think that can be its own thing. It doesn't have to be
Yeah,
part
yeah,
of
that's a whole separate. Anyway,
yeah, I think we are done.
we are done with the roundup, and now it's time for our second favorite segment of the show. It is called Where in the World is the Champions Trophy?
So obviously this episode was recorded a few days prior, and hence we couldn't give you the update that the ICC actually announced the fixture list for the Champions Trophy, which will be held in Pakistan, and with the Indian games being held in the UAE, obviously.
And in speaking of where in the world is the Champions Trophy, we still don't know. The latest update we've had is that Pakistan have finally agreed to a hybrid model. We don't know where India's matches are going to be played. Is it
I
going to be
think
in India? Is it going to be in Sri Lanka? Is it going to be in Dubai?
I think this tweet by Mufa pretty much sums it up. Watch. Have a look. Have a look at this. This is a bit of a miracle.
2 months. This is reminding me of the World Cup in India, where like 2 months before the World Cup started, people still couldn't buy tickets because the schedule hadn't been announced. But yeah, 2 months ago for the Champions Trophy, we don't know the schedule of the tournament. We don't know where India's matches are being played.
So basically, at the moment, Jai Shah, BCCI, and Jai Shah, ICC are still in conversation. So, Champions Trophy, ICC Champions Trophy coming soon. Also, हमको पता नहीं है. So,
Supposedly in February.
well, okay, we really don't know. Like, I'm at a loss. We know
Let's
it's going to be somewhere.
let's travel to Pakistan.
Okay, let's just rule out all of the things that we know are not going to happen in the Champions Trophy. It's not
India
going to
playing
be
in
in
Pakistan.
Australia.
Yeah,
It's not going to be in England.
that's about it. Well, we can probably safely say it's not going to be in the West Indies either.
Yeah, and it's not going to, okay, fine. It's not going to be in the West Indies either. That's pretty much it.
New Zealand. One more country we can rule out.
It's 2 months away, dude. We don't even know if it's going to happen or not yet. होने वाला है कि नहीं?
Listen, the idea of an India-Pakistan match happening somewhere is enough to keep any tournament alive.
Then just have a one-off. No, have one of those fucking, I don't know, Dubai exhibition type situations.
No, we can't arrange an actual series or match between India and Pakistan because then all the politicians and hooligans and whoever will get angry that we're planning that. But now if it's part of a larger tournament, then it's possible.
So basically, Jai Shah ICC can talk to Jai Shah BCCI, but he can't talk to PCB president.
He also can't apparently talk to Amit Shah, who is his dad.
No. Jai Shah BCCI can talk to Amit Shah, but Jai Shah ICC cannot.
Ah, correct.
That we found logic in it.
Some.
Okay. With that in mind, on to more serious things. It's India versus
Pakistan,
Australia.
No. Wait, we have to do the Pakistani part also as part of this. Let's just remember that in the middle of Pakistan not knowing where they're hosting which parts of the Champions Trophy they're hosting and blah blah blah. We haven't figured out, by the way, if Pakistan and India get to a semi-final or final, how that's going to. We still don't know. But also in the midst of this, Pakistan have had again the most Pakistan possible episode in their cricket.
Forgot about that.
Basically, Gary Kirsten had been appointed coach earlier this year. Then randomly he gets sacked / leaves. Jason Gillespie, who was already red ball coach, then takes over the white ball duties as well for free of charge at that point. It's not, he should be getting paid extra if he's doing an extra job, but he doesn't. Then a few months later, and this is now talking towards the end of the year, without telling Jason Gillespie, PCB cancelled the contract of the performance coach, Tim Nielsen. And Gillespie is super pissed off, saying, why the fuck have you done this without even telling me? Gillespie's role gets looted, so he's not part of the selection meetings or anything. And then finally they sacked Jason Gillespie also.
See, look, Pakistan was clearly a stepping stone for Jason Gillespie. He doesn't give a shit whether he's coach or not. He wants to be Australia coach. That's his end goal in mind. We know it.
Yeah.
Why the fuck Pakistan would let him go? I don't know. Sorry, my butter chicken rolls are here.
Dude, it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah, I think Zomato and Swiggy also timed this perfectly. Just when I was talking about Pakistan, Tandoori comes along. Um, anyway, um, yeah, okay, Pakistan. Yeah, fine. I've just another
Another
casual,
episode in this
normal day.
episode in
Yeah.
the saga. Yeah.
Anyway,
Now we can move on to India, Australia, and Ashwin.
okay. So first and foremost, let us talk about. We'll get to Ashwin in a second, but let's talk about the Test match.
Yeah. How many times do we have to take a break while talking about this Test match? I mean,
Okay, there's one. um, I guess we have 5 breaks, something like that.
dude, I don't know. I lost count in between day 3, day 4. I lost count in how many times they came in, came out. Rain came, rain went.
You know the best bit about this? Fox Sports actually put out a 4-hour time lapse of the weather in Brisbane. Anyway, in the midst of all of that, India bowled well, then badly, then said Inshallah Bumrah, and for some reason it worked.
Yeah.
Because he
Australia
picked up
still
a
managed to get to
5 for.
450.
Yeah, they
Australia
still
still
got
managed
to
to get
450, but that's because Rohit Sharma cannot captain, and Travis Head really loves scoring against India.
We should point this out. They had on the second morning they had these guys down for what 70 odd for 3, and then of course that Smith Head partnership happens 200 plus. Then even after that they get Australia down to 321 for 6, and then they put on thanks to Alex Carey batting with the tail, they put on another 130 runs. Yeah, basically Rohit at one point basically just conceded to Travis Head, saying, "Okay, you make all the runs you want."
I think Rohit Sharma should concede his captaincy as well, but again, that's a different story. We know that's not going to happen. But anyway, so team selection, clearly KL Rahul still has a sex tape of Jay Shah.
We don't need to get into that. I don't want to talk about that. This is
But
supposed to be kid friendly, remember?
you said no to that. Anyway, point being, he then goes out and proves that maybe he doesn't have the sex tape of Jay
I
Shah
mean,
by
he
actually batting
was
well.
the only, yeah, he was the only top order bat who looked like, technically how to bat in those conditions. He was the only one who showed any sort of ability to do it.
I mean, he was also helped by given a massive assist by Steve Smith when he dropped in. I mean, Smith drops a dolly and then like when he's on
Takes a
88, takes a
scream.
screamer. Like, what the fuck, dude?
But
That's out of
which
our
is true.
misery. I think no. I got it. I think here's my conspiracy theory.
Tactical drops. Tactical
No,
drops.
I think, yeah, tactical drop. I think Smith thinks that he's better off with KL Rahul opening the batting than he is with Rohit Sharma. No idea how he came up with that idea, but that's what he thinks.
Okay. I thought you were going to say you think Smith has, I think KL Rahul has Steve Smith sex tapes also. But okay.
No, I don't think anyone wants to see Steve Smith's sex tape. Jay Shah's for some reason people will
I
watch.
don't think anyone would do see Jay Shah sex tapes either. But
Anyway, yeah, so India batted really poorly, and then in scenes reminiscent of the 1990s, Akash Deep decides that he is going to save the follow-on by hitting Pat Cummins for 6.
no, for 4. And then once he's done the saving part, then he smacks Pat Cummins for 6.
Oh, sorry, he did that. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
Akash Deep, bear in mind, has been, firstly, inexplicably not playing the first 2 games. No idea why.
Yeah.
Then he does come in, he bowls really well.
No. We know why. Because Gautam Gambhir, KKR spoke to Gautam Gambhir.
Also, out of curiosity, who does Akash Deep play for in the IPL?
I can't remember anymore.
Does he play for RCB by any chance?
That does seem like a Kohli pick, actually.
Do you know why? Because RCB only produces good test bowlers.
Yeah.
So
Oh, now
anyway,
he's a okay. Now he's a Lucknow. Like he got picked up by Lucknow at the last auction.
oh, okay, very good. No one cares. Um, so anyway, uh, yeah, so he bowls really well with no luck. So then he's like Ishan Sharma light. Um, and then he sticks to Cricinfo's description of him as being a bowling all-rounder by
Yeah,
saving the.
which we saw that on cricket for the first time, which was like I don't know 3 4 months ago. We're like, what? Since when is he an all rounder? He scored he scored one first class 50, but
Clearly,
he
Cricinfo
managed to
knows
bat pretty
better
well.
than us.
Shocker.
Unbelievable. Anyway, but honestly, like we pretty much called exactly what we thought was going to happen. India are going to struggle to get Travis Head out. That happened. They're going to let Australia get off. I mean, I thought Rohit's decision to bowl first was a bit silly on this occasion. Finally, um, where I couldn't
I
really.
like the design. I don't think that test match is a draw if we bat first. By the way, they would have had enough time to bowl us out twice if we had batted first.
I mean, I think the only reason we survived that test match is because we lost 2 days to rain. But let's not get there.
That's also true.
Yeah. Anyhow, yeah, so we do that. And then bizarrely, we reduce Australia to 80 odd for 7 in the second inning. They were 33 for 5 at one point. And I'm
Yeah,
just,
there was a mix of declaration batting and some really good bowling.
listen, that whole period before we finally got into bat in the second innings was just strange. Then they set us some ridiculous target. And then it's just like, well, okay, now what's going to happen? Are we going to lose wickets? Is it going to rain?
We got 1 over of play in, I think.
And
Not even.
that was it pretty much. Then it rained.
That was pretty much it. Yeah.
Damn.
But in the meantime,
Anyway, all of the action then happens off the field.
yes.
And yeah, so going from a predictable test match, we will go to the off-field affairs and then we'll come back to the test match.
Yeah, no one saw this coming, but I guess it's not that much of a surprise now that we know. But yeah, Ashwin at some point during this test match communicated his decision to the team manager that he's retiring and ends a glorious career, really. I mean, we're talking about one of India's all-time greats, arguably the greatest spinner India has produced. I know some people will say Kumble, and some people will say a quartet of the 70s and 80s, but yeah, Ashwin's up there. Amazing contributions to India's dominant run at home over the last 10 years or so, plus obviously some really crucial contributions to wins away.
So where would you rank Ashwin in terms of the top of Indian cricket? I would say he's better than the quartet because the quartet played in an era where traveling to India was not very common, A. And B, they were very, very good on those spinning wickets that not many people had seen. So,
Yeah.
so there was a sort of air of mystery around them, and that really helped the quartet. I mean, and also other than Bedi, no one from the quartet, Bedi and Chandrasekhar, nobody really went and picked up boatloads of wickets. So the quartet is probably better than. He's definitely the best off spinner we've ever produced.
Yeah.
He's 100% better than. I mean, people say Prasanna's better, but Ashwin's got 530 test wickets. Prasanna didn't even get 200, so there's no comparison. And is he better than Kumble? Okay, let's put it this way. If he played in Kumble's era, would he be better than Kumble? Probably not, because he's played most of his career in India on fairly spin-friendly wickets for the most part. The start of it definitely on spin-friendly crickets, maybe not so much the middle.
And towards the end.
And towards the end. So,
yeah,
the first sort of 3 or 4 years was on spin-friendly wickets, and then the last 3 or 4 years have been on spin-friendly wickets, and the bit in the middle has been on good batting wickets. But he's a good enough bowler to take wickets on good batting wickets.
And I think that's what, I mean, not that Kumble couldn't do that either. Kumble's had a lot of success on some good batting tracks as well. I just think that period of time. I mean, the England series is the one that stands out, the 2016 England series. But there were other series at the time where they're not like raging turners, and Ashwin has just been a class apart against compared to both Indian spin bowlers who are playing in the same pitches and of course opposition spinners. I don't think I've seen someone be that dominant. I don't know how Kumble performs if he's playing in this era as well. Maybe he has a better average and even more wickets. You're splitting hairs also at this point. We're talking about the third highest and fourth highest spin bowling wicket takers. So
Yeah, and definitely the best spin bowler of his era. I mean, no question. Like
easily, yeah,
easily.
easily.
I mean, Lion's close,
Yeah,
but Lion averages 5 runs more a wicket.
yeah, and Lion's had his moments. He's never been consistently at that level
No,
the
I
way
don't think
Ashwin
so.
has.
I
Yeah.
mean, great bowler, no question, but Lion averages above 30. Ashwin doesn't. He averages
Yeah.
25.
And
So
the last, not counting this tour, but the previous two tours to
to
Australia,
Australia.
Ashwin actually outbowled Lion in Australian conditions. So
Yeah, absolutely. Highlights of Ravi Ashwin's career, however, he brought Munkading back. Oh, sorry, let's not call it Munkading. We'll bring out the true term. Run out at the non-striker's end back into vogue.
yeah.
I have no idea what the acronym for it is. I've had a couple of drinks and I can't think that much. My ADD is kicking in. And also, Ravi Ashwin owns the most clutch leave in international cricket.
Oh
Uh,
my God.
that game, unbelievable. Coolest man in the room. Basically sticks his ass in, and that's it.
Yeah. To
And
get us a win against Pakistan of all people in T20. Just go to show how versatile he was, by the way, that he made a comeback to the T20 side in 2022, having been pretty much discarded from white ball cricket.
remember that time when he decided he'd bowl leg spin in the IPL?
Yes.
That was weird. Anyway, but great career. He's going to be remembered as an all-time great and one of the best thinkers of the game. In another era, if he was maybe a few years younger, do you actually think he would have been Test captain?
I think he could have been Test captain when. I mean, look, India has this thing. Obviously, very rarely have we made bowlers captain, but we've seen Ashwin been given the captaincy in certain IPL situations. We know how much he thinks about the game. I would have loved to see him. I honestly think it's not going to happen now, obviously, but I think his farewell test should have been a home test in Chennai where he was captain.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been a great send-off to him. But it also brings down the curtain on possibly one of the greatest spin twin partnerships that we've had
Yeah,
since maybe Harbhajan and Kumble. That was the last.
but I don't think Harbhajan and
I
Kumble were
don't
the
think
same.
Harbhajan and Kumble even compare to this.
Yeah.
I mean, Jadeja and Ashwin.
Firstly, I don't think Harbhajan was an equal partner to Kumble in that anyway.
No.
Whereas Jadeja and Ashwin have had their moments of one is better than the other, or one has outperformed the other.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which is
absolutely.
a tribute to Jadeja also, by the way, because I don't think he has the same bowling brain or talent that Ashwin does, but he's managed to be nearly as successful.
Also, you know who the happiest people are to see Ashwin retire?
England?
No, the West Indies. He scored 6 Test 100s. 5 of them were against the West Indies.
uh, did he not score?
Oh, wait, was it? Sorry.
Four.
No.
One against England, one against Bangladesh. So
Oh, sorry.
maybe
Yeah.
the other
No.
four.
Then there was 7 Test 100s. 5 were against the West Indies. If I'm not wrong.
Oh, okay.
Then there was one that I'm missing. Yeah, but something like that. But 4 or 5 were
Goes
against.
to show about his batting, by the way. We went on a tour
Yeah.
to West Indies and played Ashwin at 6, and it worked.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Ashwin and Jadeja in Test cricket are genuine all-rounders. I mean, Jadeja is a genuine all-rounder in all formats. Ashwin definitely in Test cricket was a genuine all-rounder. So,
Yeah.
go figure. But yeah, one of the great, I mean, all-time great Indian careers. He also, bear in mind, has won a World Cup. He did play as the opening bowler in the semi-final against Australia,
Yeah.
and got Watson to do a Watson.
Semi-final against
Sorry, quarterfinal
Quarter-
against quarterfinal.
Yeah.
Beg pardon. Also at
Yeah.
Motera, Ahmedabad, before it was the Sir Narendra Shithouse Stadium. Sorry, Sir Narendra Modi Stadium.
Buddy, you're the one who lives in India, man.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, sad way really to bring an end to one of the great all-time greats.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
random ending. And you can understand because obviously India's next test assignment after this series is going to be in England. So we don't have a home series until late next year, probably, we're 10, 11 months away from the Indian home season, by which point Ashwin would be 39. Uh, You probably wouldn't have backed him to play the entire next World Test Championship cycle anyway. So I guess the kind of the writing was on the wall. But just, in a test match that he didn't even play, suddenly announcing his retirement in Australia of all places when, he has some happy, some sad memories of that place. It's just a very random way to say goodbye.
Yeah, I mean,
Also very weird that his last wicket wasn't even a wicket. But thank you, Mitch Marsh, for being Mitch Marsh. For being more KL Rahul than even KL Rahul could be.
Anyway, yeah, all-time great career. Sad to see it end, but it is what it is. Now he can go to his true calling and become the greatest YouTube cricket streamer of all time. Anyway,
Yeah,
better than us, clearly.
I would think so.
I don't think that's a competition. Anyway, so back to the test match. Well, test series rather. Where do India go from here? They're clearly not going to make any changes to the batting order because, well,
Because
why?
now KL Rahul has cemented his spot up there. And let's be, we've given KL a lot of stick. And obviously he got that luck with the drop on 33. But even before that, he had clearly looked the most capable batter for these conditions. Um, I think part of it is planning as well. I think you look at Jaiswal, Gill, Kohli come in and they are trying to dominate the bowling. And you're playing good bowling in bowling friendly conditions. That's really hard to do. And of course, then Kohli also always gets out, flashing outside off stump or whatever. Rahul has figured out that he's at least at the very start, he can't do that. He will give, the classic, all right, give the bowlers the first hour. He'll do that. And it's working for him. He's now put together 350s in the series. And he's performed consistently, unlike Jaiswal, who obviously had that century, but then outside of that has not done much.
So basically, KL Rahul discovered that in order to make runs, he has to actually listen to Sunil Gavaskar. Oh, shocker. Wow. Anyway,
So yeah, so he's cemented his spot. I mean, we only have two tests. There's no way gets dropped for either of those. He could make a king pair in Melbourne, and he's still playing in Sydney.
So the thing is,
Jaiswal is the interesting one for me, by the way. Not that he's in any danger of getting dropped or anything, but how is he getting out to these leg stump half volleys?
so Jaiswal, sometimes it just happens, but the Australians in general have spotted something. I don't know what it is. I think it's because he gets very side on in his stance.
Maybe, but he's played around one in Adelaide to get out LBW. It is a full stop like that. That ball should be going for four every single time. It was kind of like the Rory Burns Ashes ball, except for this one didn't hit the stumps. And then
I mean, it would have had his pad not gotten in the way.
Exactly, his pad got in the way.
Point of LBW.
Yes, and then he comes to Brisbane and just somehow manages again a total four ball, flicks it to the one man on the onside he could have flicked it to. And there's this whole theory with Jaiswal and having a left arm pace weakness, but these aren't like Nande Burger worked him over in South Africa. Stark is not working him over.
You also have to accept that there's a little bit of bad luck involved here. The general rub of the green has not gone our way. However, having said that, we have not deserved it the way Rohit Sharma is captain, and some of the bowling and the batting has left a lot to be desired. Now, I don't see anything changing for the next game in Melbourne. And bear in mind, Melbourne and Sydney are the two best batting wickets in Australia. You're not going to get that same kind of bounce. You're not going to get that same kind of seam movement. Sydney might have a little bit of turn. Melbourne won't even have that. It should be one of the easiest pitches to bat on here. And
this is actually for the way we performed in the last two tests. The fact that we're going into Melbourne and Sydney 1-1 is we should be thanking the stars.
Dude, we did the rain dance. It worked. I think we've now used that quota. Wo ho gaya.
That and that miracle we were able to pull in Perth.
I don't know. And weirdly, Australia's batting while they look like sitting ducks to Bumrah has not aged as badly as we think it is, except for Mitchell Marsh, who's fucking terrible.
But the Australian top squad also, Lavishane had that 150 in Adelaide. But other than that, they've all been not one of them has really put together an inning.
Well, Bas, Smith, and Head.
Okay, Smith had his middle order, top order. Talk about the top order.
I mean, McSweeney looks like a walking wicket. Khwaja's starting to show his age now. And yeah, I mean,
Oddly enough, Lavishane has gotten out to Nitish Kumar Reddy twice, and Reddy has not looked like a great bowling pick. Batting obviously is a different story, but he's gotten Lavishane out twice now.
yeah, I mean, it'll be an interesting test match. I think best batting conditions. I don't see this one as being as predictable. However, there is one thing that is predictable. Let me tell you this. Josh Hazelwood is out of the series now.
I was just about to come with that as well.
Yeah, Josh Hazelwood's out of the series, so that means MCG specialist Scott Boland will come back into the side. And guess what? The man averages something like 8 at the MCG.
Yeah, that's also thanks to some really bad England batting. He's at that 1-6 for 7.
Sorry, come again. Really bad what batting? Really bad what?
Sorry. That's just thanks to England.
No. But what did you say other than the England bit? I heard England and then I missed a little bit. Really bad what? Really bad
but that's
what?
what I'm saying.
Really
I'm just saying
bad
it's
what?
redundant. It's just really bad England being England.
Are you sure it wasn't the batting?
Yeah, but England really bad England batting is like, that is England being England.
Yeah, guess who else is batting really badly on this tour? He's going to raise our top order. Again, Kohli's going to get out driving. Rohit Sharma will get out doing something stupid. Rishabh Pant will edge one at angles across him.
Yeah, Australia's worked out Rishabh Pant, by the way, so far.
Shubman Gill will play the James Vince role, look really good for 20 and then do something stupid and get out.
Vince role. Wow. That is a blast from the past. It's not
Yeah.
even that long ago, but still a blast from the past.
Yeah. But you see where I'm coming with this, right? So far this season.
So what you're saying is our batting is now Rahul and Inshallah.
No, because he's going to do something stupid as well. So our batting.
But he's the one you can rely on. He's the one you hope is.
Okay. I still think India will lose in Melbourne. I don't know about Sydney. Sydney is a whole other ballgame. However, what I predict will happen is we will win the toss. Rohit Sharma very confidently with all his full vada pav in his belly will go like, we will bat first. And then we will back to being 150 all out and inshallah Bumrah. That's my prediction.
Dude, by the way, Bumrah is on something else right now.
Listen, there is one test series going on in which Jasprit Bumrah exists and one where he doesn't exist.
The rest of the Indian bowlers combined are averaging, I think, somewhere close to 40, if not above 40. And that's with Siraj not being terrible. He's still bowling, he's still averaging in the 20s.
Siraj, and he struggled with a niggle that he picked up in the game as well.
Yeah.
But he's not been terrible. Akash Deep was pretty good actually in the first game without much luck. So, yeah. And it'll be interesting to see. I mean, Jadeja was an obvious upgrade on both Washington and Ashwin. But that's simply because he could bat.
From a batting perspective.
Yeah,
From a batting perspective, his bowling was not good.
His bowling was not good.
I'll cut him some slack because he's just coming in a little bit out of the cold. It was his first match of the tour. And of course, he was bowling to Travis Head. But
yeah. Also, there's some speculation on whether Travis Head's going to play the game or not because
I don't think there's any speculation. I think there's just a lot of Indians being hopeful.
Yeah. So he picked up some sort of a groin niggle. And now there's only two ways you get a groin niggle. Either you run too fast, and clearly he did not do that because he was smacking us all over the fucking place. Or someone kicked him in the nuts.
Okay, let's check on Siraj. some DSP Siraj moments with some classic police brutality thrown in. I think that could have happened.
Police brutality from DSP Siraj. We really are getting off track here.
I'm glad you didn't say the other way you could have pulled it down.
Yeah. Thank God. Anyway. let's get your prediction in, then we move on to the awards.
I think I don't know how I'm doing this, but I think I've gotten bullish now. I think India somehow win this series 2-1.
Are you high?
And I know what my start of series prediction was Australia 3-1. I don't think Australia win both these tests because their batting is fragile enough. And I think India have actually survived the worst. Um, I think they can pull out a win.
Interesting. So, and also, okay, look, Melbourne, the Melbourne test is always everyone's favorite. MCG, Boxing Day. Can't get better than that for international cricket, man. Uh, yeah, okay, so you're saying India win. I say we get slaughtered. Scott Boland picks up, I don't know, eight. Um, eight in the game, not in an inning. But just to clarify.
So, a short disclaimer, the day after this episode was recorded, Nathan McSweeney had been dropped from the Australian side and Sam Consis was picked in his place. So, instead of the one change that we talk about in the rest of the episode, there will potentially be two Australian changes. We can't predict this just yet, but that seems likely.
But yeah, that's the predictions. I don't foresee any changes from the Indian side. I foresee one change from the Australian side, which is the obvious one that they've already said. They're probably going to stick with
Do you think
McSweeney. The only question is
do
where
you
does
think they
Mitchell
drop
Marsh keep
Mitch
his
Marsh?
spot? Yeah, that's the
Mitch
question.
Marsh now with the bat, and he's a year away from whatever that end of year award is for Australia. What is a Allen Border medalist or whatever
Yeah.
whatever they give out. He's a year away from winning that. He's also got a career test batting average of under 30. So I don't know how he has done barely any bowling this entire series.
Well, everyone's saying bring in Bo Webster and move Mitch Marsh up to open the batting and drop McSweeney. Well, that doesn't sound like it makes any sense. But yeah, I mean, I guess I mean, it's kind of hard to. It's like the KL Rahul situation where you're kind of forced to play him now.
But KL Rahul is making runs. So that's why you're forced to play him. What is forcing Australia to play Mitch Marsh? He's not doing anything. He's okay. Like, are you saying because he can pull off a screamer at slip or gully? That's why you're playing him?
No, because he's the bison. But we already proved that he was the best. But anyway, yeah. So I guess you stick with the same. Maybe after Melbourne, if he doesn't do anything, and then you maybe move on to Bo Webster or who the fuck?
If India win in Melbourne and Mitch Marsh has done fuck all, I think he's dropped for Sydney. I would not be surprised if he doesn't make it to Melbourne to begin with.
And they can't even say we'll see you at the Gabba anymore.
We
Right.
barely saw anything at the Gabba.
Okay. With that in mind, now that we've got our predictions in, and for the first time in the last 4 episodes, we've actually not agreed on something. It's weird. Feels weird to not.
It does feel weird.
But
this is back to normal. I feel like
I think we're back to normal now. Yeah.
We agree. We do end up agreeing a lot.
Okay. On that very happy note, it is now time for my favorite segment of the evening. It is the New Balls Cricket Awards. Take it away.
We have a lifetime achievement award to give to Ashwin. I'm going to give this one actually. Like, forget all the bowling and everything, all his cricket achievements, all of that. I mean, everyone knows about that. I want to give him an award for teaching all of us about cricket rules and when it comes to the non-striker run out. B, 2021, the press conference he gave when all of England was whining about spinning pitches and all of that. And Ashwin comes out and says, no, who defined this? That the ball has to seam on the first day, then bat well, then spinners can only come in on the last 2-3 days of the match. Who defined this? That's not how Test cricket works. For that press conference alone, I think Ashwin is the greatest cricketer India has ever produced.
So the No Balls award for this week actually comes from the Lok Sabha 11 versus the Rajya Sabha 11.
What? I have no idea about this. You can take this away.
Check your WhatsApp. I have already sent you the video. I do need to find it and I will put it up for everyone to see.
दूरदर्शन कक्ष की तरफ से और नेशनल स्टेडियम में इस आयोजन अगला बॉल किरण का और एक बार एक बड़ा बहुत ही खतरनाक बॉलिंग और इसके साथ अनुराग ठाकुर हमारे कप्तान और एक और कामयाबी बिल्कुल सही और ये नो बॉल था और मुझे लगता है कि खिलाड़ी कुछ अंपायर्स के साथ चुनौती दे रहे हैं। ये लोकसभा और राज्यसभा का नजरिया दिख रहा है, इसे रोकना होगा और यहां क्रिकेट के मैदान में और एक मिड विकेट पर बिल्कुल बॉल आकर के धराशायी हुए, बॉल गिर गया। लेकिन ऐसा लगता है कि फिर से खेल की शुरुआत और देखिए कर दिया थर्ड आई की मांग और मैं लगता है कि
But apparently Kiran Rijiju, did I pronounce that
Oh,
right?
that. Yeah. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Has gotten former BCCI secretary Anurag Thakur out of a no ball. And it was the most chaotic situation on earth because he was celebrating. Thakur is walking off, umpire's hand is out, and there's like 20 people on the pitch. But
Here's my question. Was Jai Shah BCCI there?
no, but Amit Shah, Home Minister, was. Anyway, so there's a lot of BCCI connections, so that one works.
Exactly.
Wasn't Kiran Rijiju sports minister at one point? Maybe I might be wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah, okay. So lots of connections there. Anyway, kind of makes sense. But moving on from that, the other award that we have to give out is World Class Shithousery Award. It goes to the one and only Inshallah Bumrah. Because apart from us saying Inshallah Bumrah a lot, this man is hilarious. Press conference, they have asked him about his batting. He has said, let me remind you, and you can check Google so that you are fact checked. Guess who has the most runs in a single over in a test match?
Then Google checked it. Sundar Pichai checked it himself. And then Google checked it.
Google checked it. Sundar Pichai checked it. The journalist cunts checked it. And on that very happy note,
I mean, also we already knew this.
yeah, Jasprit Bumrah wins at life. And he has basically won the lifetime award for shithousery. Even if he does nothing on the cricket field anymore, this is the most important thing to win. And lastly, we will give Pakistan an award for Pakistaning the Pakistaniest.
And we will hope we find a host for the Champions Trophy.
And on that very happy note, with 2 minutes of our allotted time remaining, it is time to end. Thank you very much for watching. Devrat, you kept quiet this episode. I'm proud of you, my boy. Good night, everyone.
It was Gavaskar, the real master. Just like a wall, we couldn't know Gavaskar at all. Not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't know Gavaskar at all.